Ella arrived before dawn. The sky was still navy and velvet, the stars reluctant to leave. Fog kissed the ocean in tendrils, and the harbor lights blinked like half-remembered lullabies. She didn't know how she had found the place, only that something had led her there, not a map, but a longing. The sign above the entrance gate, carved into salt-worn driftwood, read, "The Harbor of Forgotten Dreams. Moorings available for what you once believed in." She stepped through. The harbor stretched infinitely, lined with piers that seemed to curve toward the horizon. Instead of cargo ships or ferries, the waters were dotted with vessels of all shapes and kinds, some as small as paper boats, others grand like old galleons, each glowing faintly from within. A figure approached. Old, wind-weathered, wrapped in layers of canvas and sea salt. The harbor master. He smiled. "You're here to visit them?" Ella nodded. "I didn't mean to forget them," she whispered. He waved his hand. "No dream is truly lost. They dock here, waiting, not to guilt you, but to remind you of who you were when you first imagined them." He handed her a lantern. "It glows brighter the closer you are to a dream that still breathes. Go gently." Ella walked the first pier. The lantern barely flickered. A small boat sat silently, made of pressed flowers and thread. A plaque read, "When you wanted to be a botanist at age 6. She smiled. The scent of soil and greenhouses brushed her memory. "I used to believe every flower was a spell," she murmured. The boat glowed softly, then faded again. She continued. Another vessel, a canoe carved from notebooks. "The summer you tried to write a novel, and stopped on page 32. Inside it, a fountain pen and a single dog-eared journal. The first sentence read." She didn't know the shape of the ending, but she began anyway. Ella knelt. Touched the sentence. The ink stirred. A breeze lifted the pages, as though the boat wanted to sail. Her lantern brightened. Farther down the harbor, larger ships rocked gently. One had masts made of violin strings. The orchestra you dreamed of joining. The music that drifted from it was soft, hesitant, full of yearning. She closed her eyes. Felt the bow in her fingers again, the tremble before performance, the applause that never happened, but that she had imagined 1,000 times. "I was scared," she admitted. The ship answered with a single pure note. The sound lingered. She passed a fleet of paper boats folded with maps of countries she never visited. Backpacking across New Zealand. Working at a bookstore in Prague. Learning to dance in Buenos Aires. Each boat whispered what-ifs in languages she didn't understand, but somehow felt. Near the far end of the dock, the fog thickened. There stood a ship so large it was almost a cathedral. Its sails were made of woven dreams. The harbor master appeared beside her again. "This one was anchored deeply," he said. Ella stepped closer. It was the dream she never named aloud. The one that pulsed beneath all the others. To live gently. To love boldly. To create something that made people feel seen. She climbed aboard. The deck was empty, but not lonely. In every plank of wood, she saw pieces of herself, child, rebel, artist, wanderer. There was a chair, a desk, a typewriter that waited. One page already fed into it. She Saturday. Typed. I remember now. The ship surged with light. The fog lifted. Across the harbor, other ships stirred, some silently, some with a soft horn of recognition. The harbor master called up from the dock. Will you take one with you? Ella looked around. So many dreams. So many selves. She pointed to the small canoe with the journal. That one still fits in my hands. He nodded. It remembers you. As she left the harbor, the boat followed, shrinking gently until it rested in her palm. The journal still inside. The ink still warm. She whispered. Thank you for waiting without blame, and for reminding me that the dreams we forget do not forget us.